James Wallace from the Alamo Draft House up. He's going to be your moderator this evening. I was once in Illinois, Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas here, reading Stan's comics. It changed my life. I know it changed a lot of our lives. James, let's bring him up.
Hello, true believers! Are you ready for the man, the most incredible, invincible, amazing, astonishing, spectacular, mighty, uncanny man?
You can do better than that. You can do better than that.
The man who has influenced us all for past, present, and days of future past. Our Generalissimo, the man, Stan the Man Lee!
To so many panels that I tend to get confused where I'm at or what it's about. Is this the tribute to DC panel?
Yes,
I'm in the wrong place.
this is the 4-hour Suicide Squad retrospective. Stan and I are going to do a live commentary on the extended director's cut. Somehow made that movie worse, I'm not sure. We're not here to talk about DC. We're here to talk about Marvel.
Marvel, I've heard of that. That's that new up-and-coming company, right?
Up-and-coming company that kind of inspired all of us and all of this that we're here for. So, Stan, I wanna go all the way back to the beginning of Marvel, pre-Marvel, Timely Comics. In the 30s, when you're getting your start, tell us about that and what that time was like.
It was nice. This is why I'm such a good guest at panels. I don't talk too much. I don't bore the group. One-word answers, then I'm ready to go.
You know what? This is it's your last Texas con appearance.
My last Texas appearance.
That's
I hope this is my next to the last one.
But
I love Texas. I love the fans here. I love everything about this place. I have trouble with him, but otherwise.
You should talk to my wife. She would agree. I want to give you guys as much time as possible to ask all your questions. There's a lot of you here. We're going to do this traditional Comic-Con style. We have the mics here, I believe, in all 4 rows. So if you'd like to ask a question, look for a volunteer right there.
This is what I heard. Answer questions? You didn't tell me I'd have to answer questions. Now wait a minute. I never signed to answer questions. Who got me in that mess? What if I don't like the question? What if I don't know the answer? I'll be embarrassed. You put me up here to embarrass. You're a DC plant.
It's me, Zack Snyder!
I knew they did. I'll play along. Let's get that first question.
All right, here we go. First question.
I have to look over there. I don't see anything in the bright light.
So out of all the Marvel movie cameos, which one has been your favorite?
I don't hear him worse than I hear you.
I didn't hear that either, though. All I heard was, well, your favorite game.
Oh, that's easy. Do you remember my magnificent performance having a drink. And I said, I want a drink. And he said, you can't drink this. It'll kill you. This is for strong men or something. And I said, I want a drink. So he gave me a drink. So in the next scene, they were carrying me out. Now, you may be wondering why such an unglamorous type of thing to happen to me would be my favorite cameo. And I'll tell you why, in case you haven't figured it out. It was the only cameo I've had that had 2 scenes. Maybe 3 scenes. My second favorite, of course, was the one where Tony Stark thought I was Hugh Hefner, and I'm standing with these 3 gorgeous girls with my arms around them. And I said to the director, I got room for another girl, but he didn't.
I think his name was Tony Stank, though, right? Tony Stank. All right, we're gonna go over here. Hi, what's your name?
Summer,
Go ahead, Summer.
what is your favorite Marvel movie?
Wait a minute, why does the voice come from there if he's over there? I hear a voice from there.
I think that's called an echo.
I want you to be truthful with me.
Okay.
Are you sure the guy isn't over there?
Well, it's a young girl.
Girl, I want everybody's attention. You won't be quiet. What's the girl got to say?
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, I don't really have one. I love them all. And it's like saying who are my favorite children. That's silly. I've only got one child. But I don't know. I never really think favorites. Usually, whichever one I'm watching at the moment, that's my favorite at that moment. Because they're all so wonderful, as you obviously know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, right over here. What's your name?
Logan.
What?
Oh my God. Hands in your pocket.
What's your question, Logan?
Who is your favorite superhero that you have created?
I guess Spider-Man. He's become world famous. He's kind of like Mickey Mouse. In spandex.
Right over here.
Hi, my name is Ben Scricker. My question is, what character were you most surprised about when it became popular?
You can make that out. That's great. None of them. I created them. No. I would have been surprised if any of them didn't become popular. Then I'd be worried.
Right over here.
Alright, hi, my name's Hunter, and my question is, I know Marvel keeps you pretty hush on all your cameos, but can you tell me anything about your future cameos in Marvel movies?
No, but I will tell you, there is somebody working on a movie in which I play a superhero. And it's not gonna be me, someone else is gonna play me. I can't tell you any more about it because it's in the works now. But it's gonna be a big movie. I can't believe it, but they're working on it. So you better invite me here again next year. I'll have all the details.
Please be Bryan Cranston. That would be amazing.
I'm sorry Clark Gable is dead. And Errol Flynn, poor can't you give me a bigger cameo? And the director is always saying to the producer, will somebody shut this man up and just do what I tell him? Now, there's no, every minute is a funny, wonderful moment. I love the actors, I love the directors, we get along great, mostly because I'm not there too long. And it's doing those cameos is more fun than anything, because I'm in the movie, and yet I didn't have to work hard. I'll tell you a funny thing. Once I had to do a cameo, and I came to the studio, and I was wearing a pair of jeans, sneakers, a white shirt, and I think a sweater like this, actually. So I walk, they say you gotta go into wardrobe. So I go to the wardrobe tent, or wagon really, and the wardrobe person is there, and she says to me, okay, you gotta put these clothes on. So what were the clothes? They were a pair of jeans, sneakers, a white shirt, and a sweater like this. So I said, but I'm already wearing that. No, but you have to wear our clothes. So very indignant. So I had to take off what I was wearing, put on the exact same thing. And that's show business for you.
Everything was slightly more khaki.
Well, of course, my clothes fit much better than what they gave me.
All right, I think we're over here.
Hey, out of all your cameos, which was your least favorite?
I think so.
I don't have any. I love everything. I tell you what, I must be the easiest to please guy who ever lived. I love everything I do. I love sitting here talking to you, and you'll all be leaving and saying that guy is a fruitcake. But I'm having a great time. I love whatever I do. I'm even tolerating him. There are no cameos that weren't.
Exactly. Yeah, my least, but you weren't in Logan.
Did you see Mallrats years ago?
Yes.
Well, that was more than a cameo. I thought of myself as a star of the movie. But what I'm telling you, the reason I'm telling you this, they're making another Mallrats. He promised me an even bigger role, so I can't wait. I don't know if I understand that.
Yeah, but I think speak for all of us and say we missed you in Logan. I thought you would have made a great old man Logan.
That'd have made a great anything.
All right, thanks.
Honesty has never been one of my problems.
You're adorable.
As a creator, I was wondering if you ever struggled with making a story or piece, and if so, how would you get through it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that either. Can you repeat it?
Sorry. As a creator, did you ever struggle with making a story or anything? And if you did, how do you get through it?
Actually, there is a character that I didn't do well with, and I'm trying to think of his name. Oh yeah, Diablo. And Jack Kirby and I were doing some script, I forget what it was, and we needed a villain. And I usually think of a name first, name that I like, and then I create the character to go with the name. And I said, nobody is using Diablo. That's a great name. He said, okay, what do you want me to do? So I said, call him Diablo. So he said, well, who is he? And that made me think. I didn't know. So I sat down and I started thinking, what will I do with Diablo? And I must have thought of something, because we used him in whatever book it was. I don't even remember. But I don't think it ever came out that good. And I hate to have you think that I haven't always been 100% 100% successful and wonderful, but I think that's one area where I didn't do too well. I came up with a name, and I can't tell you today who the guy is or what he did or anything. But he was Diablo, and that's a good name. And don't forget Diablo.
It's gonna be great if this guy's name is Diablo.
Wash your mouth out. Gotta tell you something funny, Bob. What's his last name?
Bob Kane.
Bob Kane. Thank my good friend. Bob Kane was a very close friend of mine. He and his wife and my wife and I used to go out to dinner a lot. And we were good friends. And he was always saying to me, this was years ago, ha ha, we have a TV series with Batman and you ain't got none. And we're working on a Batman movie and Marvel isn't working on any. And oh boy, he lorded it over to me. Now, I'm in a position where I can really sock it to him. And the son of a gun died on me. What kind of a friend is that? I hope you listen, Bob, for me. I hope you listen.
Just piggybacking off of that last question about your creative process, for every good idea of a character you've come up with, how many bad ideas have you had to go through until you found that aha moment?
Okay, so, he's asking,
Must have been some tough question.
it wasn't, it's a tough one. He's asking, basically, if there was a character that, can you re-ask your question? I'm really sorry.
So like for every good idea you like had,
It's rubbing off on me.
how many bad ideas have you had to go through until you found that like aha moment of the original character that you're trying to come up with?
I feel like I've been up here long enough that I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say he's never had a bad idea, but let's ask him. What's your favorite Marvel character?
Spider-Man.
Okay, all right. Spider-Man, how many bad ideas did you have to throw out before you really figured it out?
Wash your mouth out. Bad idea. I wouldn't be sitting up here if I had bad ideas. If I haven't told you this before, if you've heard this before, interrupt me, all right? It wasn't easy to get Spider-Man done because we were looking for a new superhero. This is way back. My boss said, hey, we did well with the Fantastic Four and whatever else we had. Come up with a new superhero. So, in order to get a new superhero, the first thing you need to do is figure out what power does he have. And I was trying to think what would be a good superpower. And I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I figured, gee, if I could get a hero who could stick to walls. And I started thinking about it and working on it. Then I had to come up with a name. Flyman didn't sound dramatic enough. Mosquito Man sounded funny. And I went down the list. And then I got to Spider-Man. Oh man, that sounded scary and dramatic and nice. And then I figured I'll make him a teenager, because there weren't any teenage superheroes. So that'll make him different. And then I figured I'll give him a lot of personal problems. Because as far as I know, Superman and Batman never had any personal problems. So I was real excited, and I ran into my publisher's office, and I told him what I had come up with. And he said, quote, Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. He said, first of all, You can't call a hero Spider-Man because people hate spiders. You can't make him a teenager because a teenager can only be a sidekick. And you want him to have personal problems. Stan, he's a superhero. Don't you know what a superhero is? So boy, I walked out of the office, my tail between my legs. But we had a book we were going to kill called Amazing Fantasy or something like that. Now, when you're going to kill a book, nobody cares what you put in the last issue because the book is going to die anyway. So just to get it out of my system, I had Spider-Man drawn and I featured him in the last issue of Amazing Fantasy. And I forgot about it. A month later, after the books, all the sales came in for all the books, my publisher ran into my office. I had a little thing in a closet. Ran into my working space, and he said, Stan, you remember that character Spider-Man of yours? Let's make him a full series, because that had been the best-selling book we had for the whole month. And that is how Spider-Man was born. So if I tell you how each one of them was born, that'll keep us here all the time. You won't have to worry about it. Don't worry, I have a bad memory. I don't remember how the others were born.
Let's go over here.
What actor that portrayed one of your characters in like the movies? Like, which one was your favorite? Like, which actor was your favorite?
Which
The first, who was the first one? I thought Tobey Maguire was just perfect. I do think the other ones were good. Everyone we've had has played the role beautifully. Maybe it's an easy role to play. If I were a little younger, no. Not yet, but I'm going to.
he's gonna freak out. Let's go over here.
Hi, Mr. Lee. If you could spend a day with a superhero, who would you like to choose? If you could spend a day with a superhero, who would you like to choose?
Maybe Tony Stark, because there'd be sure to be a lot of beautiful women around. And maybe I could borrow some dough from him.
Let's go over here.
How did you come up with all the different ideas of the characters that you've made?
I don't know if we have that much time. Do you have a specific character you want to ask about?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, with the Fantastic Four, I wanted to do something that had a few characters. And I didn't want to make them too super, but I was looking for powers that nobody else had. So I thought that Invisible Girl, the invisibility was a good power. And then I gave her a force field also, as I remember. I had Mr. Fantastic, as he modestly called himself. I had him have the power to stretch his body into any form, which I thought was kind of original. And then the Human Torch, I copied. I must be honest. We had a character at Marvel, before it was Marvel. It was called Timely. When I came to work for them, they had two characters they were publishing. They didn't own them, but they used these characters and paid the artists for them. One was the Human Torch and one was the Submariner. And the two of them were worlds fighting, fire and water, and I had liked them. So nobody was using the Human Torch when I did the FF, and I thought I would let the teenage kid have the power of the torch. And then, of course, I wanted somebody special for the fourth one. And I decided I wanted a guy who was almost a monster, but he was a good guy. And I didn't know of any characters in comics like that. Later on we had the Hulk, but that was later. So I came up with the thing, and I tried to make him a tragic character, but a funny character also, which isn't easy to do, but luckily I'm a wonderful writer. And those were the four characters, and I tried to do another thing too. I didn't want them to live in Gotham City or anything. I wanted them to live in New York City. And when they went to the movies, they'd go to the Radio City Music Hall. And if they had to go somewhere, they'd take the damn subway and so forth. So I wanted it to be as realistic as possible. Even Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, he would rather ride in his Chevy, what's the sport car Chevy has? Not a Camaro. The Corvette, the Chevy. He'd rather ride a Chevy Corvette than go chasing villains. And then I decided to make the girl the heroine's fiancée, so that we didn't have to worry, will they ever fall in love? They are already in love. They're going to get married. I tried to make everything as realistic as I could with these crazy characters. And I loved the Fantastic Four. And just for fun, on the top of the masthead, I wrote, "The world's greatest comic book," or something like that. And I figured that'll get them. So the book really sold well, and it became good. And that's why my publisher asked me to do more, and that's why Marvel became almost as good as DC.
All right, guys, we have time for two more, so we're going to take one over here.
Why, where are you going?
No.
Why do you only have time for two more? I mean, what voice from above said you were going to have time for two more? What if we get three more? I'm sorry.
All right, here we go.
Stan, every time we see you, you are so full of energy and you seem so happy. What's your secret to a happy and productive life?
That's a really good question. I really appreciate that question. Every time we see you so happy, so full of life, what's your secret to a happy life?
Being with fans like you is obvious. When you're with people who are friendly, and people who are enthusiastic, and nice people, and people who are interested in a lot of the things you're interested in, how can you not feel good and be energetic? I mean, you people are great. I wouldn't want to say it yet and give you swell heads, but when I'm out with my friends, I tell them we got some great fans.
So now we've got, with great power comes great responsibility.
Which is a perfect transition into what I'm trying to ask. My name is Sterling. I am a native Texan, a 35-year-old man. Mr. Stanley, thank you. Your creations have helped. They've helped me want to be a better man my entire life thus far. Among your heroes, your superheroes, your good guys, and even some bad guys, there has been an ongoing theme, the greater good. That's what they want to achieve. So I want to know what got you so motivated to put so much focus on the greater good in your works? Because clearly you made an impact on a lot of people.
More than that, the only three words I get recognized were based on your. But I couldn't get anything else.
Well, you got a lot of nice things to say.
You can repeat it if you want.
Thank you, sir.
I get it? Is that, yeah?
I'm glad you think of me that way. But when I was a kid, my mother was a great lady, and she always taught me to be nice to other people, and to be especially nice to people who are in trouble, or the kind of people that somebody else would ignore. You pay attention to them because they need it. You gotta be good to other people, and she always told me that. And then the books that I read, like A Tale of Two Cities with Sidney Carlton, who at the end he says it's a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done, and so forth. I tried to read good stuff, and Jean Valjean and Victor Hugo's book. And I loved good heroes. I loved people who did things for other people with no hope of reward, just because they were good people. And when I made up characters in the books, I wanted to try in my own stumbling way to get the kind of characters I had read about all the time. I don't know, am I answering the question, or am I
That's literally the perfect answer, right? You've been so good to all of us. You've given us so much that with this being your last Texas convention, we wanted to give something to you guys.
Money will do.
Guys, I hope you're okay. You didn't have to chip in. I got Stan a present for all of us. The great state of Texas. And we're going to present him now. Wow. We can't, Texas Ranger, which I'm pretty sure they ripped off that symbol from Captain America. So, this
I arrest people?
yes! Ladies and gentlemen, give a big Texas goodbye to Mr. Stanley.